I have a very good guide here waiting for you, and this is the only only build guide you need for the latest update on Evoker on the PvP content. Okay, so it is boasting of 93% critical rate, so that's so high, 93%, and of course 243% critical damage. And we will discuss the trait and how each trait works with your skills and of course utilities, the amulet, relics, and runes. We will all tackle that and easy things you can do to survive and deal damage. And don't worry guys, this guide is for everyone. I myself is 40 years old already. Woohoo! And my bottom matching skills, I've already gone down the hill, so surely playing Evoker surely needs a lot of APM, but that can easily be remedied with practice and of course muscle memory. So having all said and done, hello fellow Asurans, Snarling Chars, Weedy Silvaris, and Brawling Norns and Snob Asurans. Let's all start by supporting my channel. Click that subscribe button and of course like the button, like the video please. Thank you. So now that's been said, let's all start by discussing how to become a top damage dealing evoker using this build. Alright, so for you to easily understand the build, the guide has two important factors. One, the damage modifier, and two, what's that? Utility modifier. And we'll discuss this based on how you play your game on a normal way and not how a bookish kind of way, okay? So, but first we have to define them for everyone, both. Damage modifiers are traits that help your skills and utilities be more effective in dealing damage, okay? Bam, 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 boom! This build mostly focuses on getting traits that increase your overall ferocity, and on layman's term increases your critical damage, okay? And to maximize that, we'll be taking traits, amulets, runes that gives us precision and or critical chance. Utility modifiers are traits that help our utilities to become potent and much more effective. This build only has very few utility modifiers, but we only took them because their effect on your overall survival is much greater than taking other traits that could modify your damage, okay? So let's start with our damage modifier. How this build help you with that, what you normally want to do as an evoker, right? So as an evoker, you would be swapping attunements. That's normal. You'll be swapping attunements a lot of times. So I will start with that. Going out of air to any other attunement gives you a few good buffs thanks to elemental attunement and arcane prowess. They give you almost, if not 100% uptime on your fury. And on top of that, going to air again and again gives you a tons of damage modifiers to help you increase your damage. Evocation and choosing hair as your familiar will reduce your air attunement cooldown to measly 1.25 seconds, helping you go in and out of air more frequently. And having said all that, you got plus 5% critical chance on Zephyr speed whenever you go into air, an instant damage bonus from critical discharge that also gives you a nice 8 stack vulnerability and 150 ferocity, so that's around 10% critical damage plus 10% critical damage whenever you go into air. So that's how much value you get just by swapping attunements in and out of air. Okay. Aside from swapping attunements, DPS evokers would always smash buttons like that and deal damage to enemies. So that's the normal thing that you should be doing. Whenever we deal critical damage at 90% of the time, so that's how good this build is, we get Fury from Raging Storm. It helps us to keep that 100% Fury uptime. But that's not all. Raging Storm also gives us additional 180 ferocity, so that's around additional 12% critical damage. That's huge damage boost, especially on builds that uses Marauders and Berserkers. Having 100% on uptime on Fury gives us a ton of benefit. This build gives you that just by playing and dealing damage and swapping attunements. Enhanced potency also improves the critical chance by 5% given by Fury. So for other traits like Ferocious Wind, bolt to the heart, electric enchantment, familiar focus, they were chosen because they deal more damage than their counterparts. Although Familiar's Blessing over Familiar's Focus can help you throw your skills faster, make it a valuable replacement over raw damage. All of those damage modifiers benefit, you get them just by dealing damage. That's what's good in this build. You get all those damage modifiers that we have just discussed just by dealing damage. You don't have to do any special things. You don't have to do cartwheels or whatever. You just have to attack the enemy and you get all those other benefits. So by dealing damage, those three that we discussed help you deal even more damage. And like having a good, it's like having a good relationship, right? Yeah, you get what I mean. So as you fight in PvP, you will eventually get focused and or chase at, right? And here is where your utilities shine, and of course your utility modifiers. Your best utility modifier would be Arcane Lightning. It gives you valuable damage modifier and utility modifier when you use your Arcane Shield. So, wing, 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 wing. You hear that, right? Whenever you use your Arcane Shield, wing, 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 wing. With Arcane Lightning, whenever you use your Arcane Shield, you get a bonus of 150 ferocity for 15 seconds. So that's a very important stability buff to help you stay on the fight during the entire fight, right? So that's enough. 15 seconds additional of stability and additional 150 ferocity. That's enough to turn the tide to your favor. Coupled with, of course, final shielding trait. So whenever you use your elite skill Elemental Procession, you get a bonus lesser arcane shield that procs the Arcane Lightning. So there's additional 15 seconds and additional stability again when you use your Elemental Procession. So anyway, your next utility modifier would be Altruistic Aspect. It gives a little buff to your meditation skills. Although Fiery Might 5% is a huge damage. Fiery Might, if you take Fiery Might, you have a huge damage boost, 5% increase. But if you're not dealing burning, if you're not dealing enough burning, it won't help you much. So that's why we're taking Altruistic Aspect. Last utility modifier last utility modifier would be Renewing Stamina. It helps your endurance health. It helps your stamina. Your last utility modifier would be Renewing Stamina. It helps your endurance health during fights. Okay, since you will be creating 93% of the time, might as well use this. So it's like 100% uptime for Renewing Stamina. So as for our amulets, we use Marauder. So I would like to go Berserkers. However, I play at around 250 ping. So that's a bit of a delay when in PvP, so a little bit of vitality would help me survive instant burst from other classes. But to be honest, some conduits and luminaries instant delete me if I was not able to react fast enough with my evasions. Okay, so as for our runes, we use Infiltrator runes. Some might argue that Scholar is better in giving higher critical damage. However, I actually used Scholar as well before, but when I tried using Infiltrator, it just feels a lot better. Okay, so it's really up to you which one would you prefer, but for me, Infiltrator is the way to go. Okay, you will be seeing a lot more crits, so that's juice in the eyes. And of course, as for the relics, we use either Fireworks or Thief, but I prefer Thief better because it's more consistent than Fireworks. So as for sigils, we have Sigil of Exploitation. It increases our damage against people who have low health, and Sigil of Energy to keep our endurance healthy during long fights. So that's it for the entire build. If you have comments and suggestions, feel free to go on the comment section. If you have questions, I'd be glad to help you with. And if you find this guide helpful, send me some cash. Okay? I don't need your likes, just cash. I'm just kidding. I mean, subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing other bids for other elemental bids for PvP. So thank you.